The elements of making a pause tape is crazy. First of all, you had to have the good Maxo tape. To even have this quality of tape, you was up, right? So to sell your mixtape, like you was competing with 1200 Assassin, Ron G, Doo-Wop, Kid Capri, and what I noticed about their tape was they was charging a premium because of having this Maxwell tape. There's two ways of making, doing the pause tape. There's one where you can make a mixtape from the radio, which I used to always do. Then there's another one that you can use as looping and use the tape cassette deck as the sampler, you know, because that's what we used to do on the turntable. We used to search and find that break beat. But in this case, you was making the whole loop, the break beat, but on the cassette. It took a lot of patience. It took a lot of moving fast. You had to move your hands fast. And you also had to have an ear to know where the loop would come back around, which is the most important, because if you don't got the loop right, you got to start all over again. The way I got my start as a producer was kind of by default, by doing mixtapes, because once Doo-Wop came out and a lot of artists was coming out, they was having intros to their mixtapes. And so they was having people from their hood or known artists rap on the intros of those tapes. And so like even like Clue, like you hear all the Locks freestyles, this, that, and the third. But the big thing was the intros. The intros to the mixtape set off the whole mixtape before you even got to like all of those exclusives and freestyles. So I started doing loops just to make the intros. And I didn't even know I was producing, but I was just like using the sample on my mixer, looping records, and just making the beat so I could have whoever was the hottest person from my school or my block get on my mixtape and open up my mixtape. But then people was loving the beat so much, I started making more money off of making intros to the mixtapes and doing a whole run of mixtapes. And I remember speaking to Premier in D&D Studio right before I like blew up. It was me, him, we was working on something with Big L, rest in peace at that time. And I was a super shorty. I was like 15 or something like that, like 15 going into 16. And I seen DJ Premier, which is also a producer, but his name is DJ Premier. And I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna take the producer thing serious. Like, I'm gonna really go for it. And he's like, nah, you gonna be all right. You got the air. You started off as a DJ. I heard the stuff that you messing around with. You gonna be all right. And then the year after that, I dropped Rough Riders Anthem. So he kind of told the future on that. The mixtape was definitely vital to the whole entire industry. It was the distribution channel for the up-and-coming artists, up-and-coming DJs, you know, that nobody even had a clue where to find. Like these people wasn't going deep in the Bronx, like with Doo-Wop with the Bounce Squad and finding Lord Tariq and the Gun Runners and all of these guys. Like, you know, it took a DJ that was from that hood to bring those artists together that was respected. And so, you know, what the DJ and the mixtape was doing was displaying, it gave an outlet that the big corporations could say, oh, this guy got some buzz. It's like what TikTok is today. The mixtape was that. Like, that's how you found the new talent in music and DJing and rapping and things like that.